My name is Jacques Vesery. Most people call me Jack. I'm from Damascotta, Maine, a small town in the mid-coast of Maine, about an hour north of Portland. Lived there about almost 30 years. I think next year's 30 years. And I've been a professional wood artist. I also say sculptor because I do a lot of sculptural objects for about 25 years consistent. My connection to Arrowmont goes back to, I think, 2003. I think that might have been the first year that I was here as an instructor. I enjoy coming to Arrowmont for several reasons. I think the facilities are really good. We draw in some great students, people who really are eager to learn, and I think it's just all in all a good learning experience. I've taught at some places where students don't live on campus, and I think it's a detriment to their benefit of being here, living with their fellow students and with me and other professionals and faculty, and eating, living, and the ability to come back and work in the evening. I was doing wood turning part-time and stay-at-home dad, raising two boys. My wife is a physician, so we decided that's how we were going to live in Maine. There was a big switch in my focus of work that was very prominent. It was that I was making woodworking and wood art, per se, that didn't look like, it couldn't look like anyone's. And I stopped and said, wait a minute, what do I really want to be doing? I also said, why am I making the wood so important and wood turning so important? And I switched away from that and said it could be any form that I appreciate or appeals to me, and why not texture, why not color? And I started experimenting with that, and that was a big change in my career. That's when I kind of considered, that's when I went full time. And the work has been noticed for those reasons. I love the fact that people will say to me, so you're a ceramic artist? And I say, no, I'm a wood artist, or I work in wood, that's my medium. Because there's what I call, I'm creating the illusion of reality, that it may or may not be wood. Until you pick it up, you don't know, maybe you don't know what it is. And the temperature and the weight of the object is telling, whereas if it was stone or ceramic. But as I was teaching, let's say from the first time at Arrowmont till today, there was a big switch in what I wanted to teach and preach to people. I'm going to teach them how to make better shapes and forms. As you see here, these are from the students for this week. So many people are against that, especially if it's their hobby. And what I tried to convey to them was, you need to practice. You need to have repetition. You need to build up muscle memory. Every one you make is going to be better. When you make one, it's mediocre at best. If you make 10, it's going to be even better. When you make 100, it's going to be great, because you get better every time. So we don't insist, but we recommend during this course, even a master class, go through the repetition. And then we take a period of time and discuss the pieces. And I don't tell them what I see. I let them tell everyone what they see. But in this type of class setting, and it's the class I like to teach the most because I think it's such important information, form and design. We're giving them basics where we're taking a piece of wood that may be pretty or not, and we're painting it black so they look at the form and not the wood. Make that a second priority. So that in itself, you could take a person who's never done wood turning, give them the basics, and you're sketching in 3D. And it just happens to be that you're sketching this way versus this way. And what's the difference between ceramics and wood turning? Okay, ceramic artists add material, we remove material. So we're sort of finding the treasure within. But some of the same things have to be in the parameters of scale, proportion, all those things. But we're removing it, not adding it. And we can't add it once we take it off, unless we add another piece of wood. So those things are important as well. Wood turning is an addictive medium, and the one thing that I do also try to convey to people is yes, it's addictive, and yes, it's very quickly, a quick gratification, because you can do things very quickly if they're symmetrical. But don't be married to the material and this tool. If the bandsaw is easier, use the bandsaw. If a hand tool is easier, do that. Don't take 20 hours to do it on the lathe because you have the machine. So there's two sides to that. Arrowmont has sort of a good mix and a well-rounded facility, accommodations, good mix of faculty, some academic, some professional. Also, the fact that everyone wants you to come visit our studio, come see what we're doing, come, take a break, walk over. And I'm constantly saying to the students, especially when they're a little bit exhausted and doing something that is going to be maybe hurtful to them, get a cup of coffee or a glass of water and go over and see what they're doing in the other building. It's important to do that, and that's encouraging. And I think that also starts to say, wow, maybe I could put a little metals in my piece. I maybe have to take a metals class next time. Mixing the medias, because again, it's not important about, to me, it's not important about the material. Don't be driven by that all the time. Yeah, one of my favorite places, and that's why I like to come back here.